Morning all. Thank you for joining us for today, which is a celebration of the e-learning that we've been working on with the Northamptonshire Health Foundation Trust, NHFT, and the Recovery College. So we welcome colleagues from there, and we hope that you will find out more about the courses that we're running and a little bit more information and something fun to make you want to look at what we're already offering. So thank you, Paul.
The organisation started from humble beginnings. 30 plus years ago, a small group met in a GP surgery in Kettering to discuss the need for carers to have a voice and be supported with some input from a district nurse, Denise Morby, and a social worker, Jenny Coles. The carers had a voice and secured enough joint funding through Health and Social Care to start up and manage a new adult carers support project in Meadow Road, opening as Kettering Carers Centre, soon to be joined by a Northampton office at the Guildhall. At that time, the term carer was practically unheard of. Most people had no clue what it meant. The centre was a drop-in shop employing a handful of workers and some volunteers. People would just call in for coffee, a chat, and information, and a listening ear. We had no computers, PowerPoints, or Google. It all came from manuals and local knowledge. How life has changed. As it evolved, a young carer project started. We were affiliated to the Princess Royal Trust for Carers, of which Princess Anne was the patron. We evolved and grew, moving twice. The profile for carers was raised. People were beginning to relate to the term. Over the years, we were successful in securing 3 memorable visits from Princess Anne, which succeeded in raising the profile for carers and ensuring the steady growth to the service we have today. The Chief Executive Officer, Mark, started as a care advisor in 1996, and his passion for the needs of carers has driven the organisation to where it is today. He has worked tirelessly with a team of influential trustees navigating some very tricky economic situations and statutory bodies to keep on securing funding for carers and the organisation. We now have a huge staff base of more than 100 employees and 140 plus volunteers, of whom we are very proud. Many new services were developed by listening to carers, and because we weren't fully tied to statutory bodies being a charity, we had the freedom to not only listen to carers, but develop the kind of services and organisation they wanted. Through hard work and collaborative projects with partners and many other organisations locally, we continually raise the bar for carers, producing many different projects offering choice and options to improve well-being and opportunity for carers and cared for. During the pandemic, we became the first organisation in the county to co-produce e-learning courses for carers with the NHFT Recovery College. This has been a new and exciting addition to complement the work we've always done, face-to-face, telephone, assessments, etc. Some recent proud moments include 30 years celebrations of being Northamptonshire carers from 1992 to 2022, a Commitment to Inclusion and Diversity Award, Health Service Journal Award winners at the HSJ Awards ceremony in London, November 22, nominated by NHS England for the HSJ Awards category, Northamptonshire Carers, recognising carers as equal and expert partners in care.
And so here's a list of our services. I apologise if I've missed any, but yeah, we've come a long way, and we're pleased to be here telling you about it. And as part of today's session, we'll be telling you more about us and more about the Recovery College. So thanks, Paul. So who is a carer? Interesting to look at this Animaker cartoon created by one of the managers from the Recovery College. I'll let you listen. think the importance of that is so many people don't realise they are carers, and hopefully that gives a flavour of exactly who is a carer and make people think. So thanks, Paul. Hand you over to the NHFT Recovery College. I don't know whether Matt or Carly are doing it, but I will hand you over and Paul can put the slides up. I'll let you introduce yourselves.
Thank you, Nicola. Oh yeah, if you could just click through on that slide, Paul, to fill it up, please. So yes, it's good to be here. It's good to be here presenting alongside our partners at North Hampshire Carers. We're Recovery College NHFT, and we work in collaboration, like Nicola said, around the e-learning courses that have been provided and been developed expertly by North Hampshire Carers alongside our team. But we also wanted to share a bit about who we are and what we do as well, because you might find it beneficial to come along to some of our courses, enroll as a student and join us alongside accessing the e-learning courses. So if you could click on, we'll just get our names up. So I'm Matt Carter. I'm the operational manager for the Recovery College and an occupational therapist by background. And I'm here today with...
I'm Carly Hedrick. I'm a parent carer to my daughter who has severe additional needs and disabilities. And I'm also work with the Recovery College as well as a peer trainer. Thank you.
So I'll just wait for that slide to load. If you could just click on a couple of times, please, Paul. Thank you. So just give you a little bit of background as to who we are and what we do. So we're Recovery College NHFT. We're part of North Hampshire Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust. We are as an additional service to clinical services that North Hampshire Healthcare provide. We're predominantly sit under the Mental Health and Learning Disabilities Directorate, but we do lots of work around all courses and all sorts of conditions for people. We've been going around 5 years, just over. We're set up as an educational type college. So rather than being a therapy-based or clinical service, we're here. We provide courses that are educational, but with a bit of a twist, a bit of a difference. And Carly's going to explain a little bit more about that in a moment, and tell you a bit about some of our courses. Our courses are free of charge, and they're based around the topics predominantly mental health, well-being and neurodiversity, which is sort of autism and ADHD and such conditions. We deliver our courses face-to-face and online, as well as the e-learning courses that we've developed with North Hampshire Carers. So if you could just click on, there's a QR code that might be useful. So if you are viewing this training later on, then please click on that, scan that QR code, and it will take you to our website. Awesome. Thank you very much. Can we go on to the next one, please?
Okay, so hope, control and opportunity. They are the three things we strive for within Recovery College. So I'm just going to tell you a bit more about my experience as not only a Recovery College peer trainer, but also as a carer. So I've been working with Recovery College for about 2 years now. It's a lovely place to work and also to attend to learn new skills and to gain information, and also to meet people that are actually going through a similar thing to yourself. So the main thing I like about Recovery College and working for them is the fact that all courses are produced and delivered equally by an expert by profession, so an expert by training, which is someone who has learnt about that experience, or a health professional, for example, a GP, or like Matt said, he's an occupational therapist, so people like that, and also an expert by experience, so someone who actually has lived experience of that as well. So this is really good because it means that our courses show both sides of everything, and they are relatable to everyone, which helps with understanding each other. So the people that are actually going through it in their lives can actually understand the point of view of the health professionals and vice versa. So I think it actually helps them to give a better service and understanding and empathy to the people going through it themselves. So working with a professional on each course means that I'm actually learning a lot from their side as well. And I feel like I've learned so much from health professionals, and I'm able to help more people because of this as well. So I'm a parent carer to my daughter. She's 8 years old, and I also have a 7-year-old son. So my daughter has a very rare condition that has left her severely disabled. She doesn't have great nights sometimes. It's all very unpredictable, so she requires a lot of care to do most things. So eating, drinking, changing. She's non-mobile, but she's perfect and gorgeous and brings me so much joy. I can't even explain. We called her Summer because she is the sunshine. So I feel like every day is sunny in my life. So I also run a charity, a charitable cause organising SEN events, so sensory events. So as you can imagine, life is very busy, and I can get very overwhelmed. I think they're like the main things, but then also, you know, you think about you have a life, as in a house to clean and all these extra things, washing your hair, which is one of my least favourite things to do because that takes hours out my day. So yeah, there's a lot of different things to do. But the Recovery College actually gives courses on wellbeing as well, which is really important. And I'm going to speak a bit more about in the next slide about the different courses that are actually really relevant to carers as well, and that I've found has really helped with my mental health and my caring duties. So all students are equal. Our students are currently, so we have 18-year-olds and older, current service users, ex-service users, so people that have been discharged in the past 12 months, family, friends and carers, NHFT staff, and staff and service users of partner organisations related to Northants Carers and Northants Carers as well. So yeah, so we have Recovery College to support people that have mental health conditions, so they become experts in their own self-care, and to help family, friends, carers and staff better to understand the recovery journey. So yeah, so that's all about Recovery College. And if you can move on to the next, if you could click again, thank you. So yeah, as you can see, their co-production. Thanks, Paul. So the courses that are currently being held, this is a list of the courses, but there's some that are actually really relevant to carers. So we've got Thrive with 5, which is all about wellbeing. It's so important, I know as a carer, and I'm sure many of you know, to look after yourself so that you can actually deal with everything that it throws at you, because it's so unpredictable. There's good days, there's bad days, there's no sleep sometimes, there's appointments, there's rushing around, there's the mental, you know, fatigue of it all, and it's just so important to look after yourself so that you can deal with that as best as you can. Because with all the vulnerabilities of even not eating, just grabbing a snack or something, that can make you, you know, struggle a bit more. So just thinking about these little things that you can do to make yourself feel better. Introduction to mindfulness. So I co-produced a course on mindfulness, an introduction, and it's one of the skills that I found most helpful. And I think it's very helpful to people that have a lot going on, because it helps us to kind of do things one at a time. And also just stop the madness. So kind of just give us space to just stop and think, okay, this needs done, this needs done. And to just really deal with things in a much better thought out way, really. We also have lots of courses, as you can see on there, about autism, anxiety, autism diversity, building healthy habits, which I think is another relevant one, because with so many appointments and so many things going on, it's really good to have habits built in place and structure to help make life easier. And there's also Caring and Me, and Introduction to Caring and Carers Wellbeing. So we also have lots of new courses coming for the summer term, which is exciting. Staying Well at Work, Positive Affirmations, You Rock, so that might be a good thing as well. Caring and Mental Health, Living with Bipolar and Recovery and Introduction, Living with a Young Autistic Family Member, Living Well at Any Age, Train the Trainer, Storytelling and Recovery. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks. So
can I just ask what EUPD is?
yes,
Yeah.
I can answer that. So EUPD stands for Emotionally Unstable Personality Disorder.
Thank you.
So we have a lot of people that struggle in their life due to having that condition, and the course, in fact, it's our most attended course. There's always a huge waiting list for it, and I think its uniqueness is that you've got, like Carly was saying, it's facilitated by people that both work in the area, but also that people that have lived experience of the condition and are at varying points on their recovery journey. So that's what sets our courses apart, Nicola, the fact that you've got people delivering the course that know firsthand what it's like, and you know that as a carers organisation how important it is to hear that lived experience firsthand. But yeah, sorry for not clarifying that. So here's this is a slide that shows you a bit about what our upcoming courses are. That is a link to our Eventbrite page, and there's a link a bit later on in the presentation that you could go to and a QR code. But yeah, all our courses are listed on a platform on the internet, a booking system called Eventbrite. So you might be familiar with it. If not, you just have to log in and create an account. It's quite secure, it's quite global, and well used. And as our courses are free, we have free access to it. And the good thing about Eventbrite is each of the courses has a description as to what it is. So a little bit of a paragraph telling you what's happening, what you'll expect to learn in the course, etc. But alongside that, and what we're here really about to celebrate today, is the e-learning courses. And Carly's just talked a little bit about those. So there's two that we've developed thus far with our colleagues at North Hampshire Carers, which are fantastic. But we also have another one in development around carers' rights, and I think that's going to be much needed and well accessed as well. And we have an e-learning course around reducing loneliness. I think the important thing to say is that you can come to our courses and attend them more than once. So it might be that the first time you come along to a course or access something, you might not be in the right frame of mind to fully absorb the content. So please do come back once you know what it's like, because often the challenge for people is actually getting into a course or accessing it in the first place. So in terms of accessing our e-learning courses, at the moment you have to send email us and when we send you a link, but we are going to put the e-learning courses on Eventbrite, and we're going to hopefully get them so that North Hampshire Carers can have access to them also on their website, which makes it easier for people to access. We do also have a detailed prospectus that's a SWAY document. So SWAY is like a live online document that you can access, and there's a link to that later on in the presentation for you. Okay, if we can go on to the next slide, please.
Okay, so we're just going to talk about the benefits to the students. So feedback from students is very positive for us, and this is just a small sample. So as you can see, the benefits go way beyond the content and learning outcomes of the course. And this is why we have shown them here around the core principles of the recovery, which is hope, control and opportunity. So as we mentioned earlier, here in a balanced picture of both sides in services, because understanding and learning is so important to be able to help each other really to understand. Inspiration, hearing others' experiences. I think that when I know, and just linking to parent carers or carers in general, that it can be a very lonely, isolated place, and having people that are going through the same things, or that you can hear what they've been through and things they've done that worked, is just so important. I think for well-being as well, and just meeting new people that are going through something very similar. Knowing that recovery is possible, so that's a really good thing as well. So it's just important, because I think that when we go through something, it's very hard to see the end, and so it's seeing that and knowing that it can happen. It just kind of gives you that boost to maybe a bit more positive and know that, you know, you're going to be okay. Knowing you have more strengths than weaknesses, that's a really good one. Optimism is key to well-being, and just helps in life really, doesn't it? Helps you feel less overwhelmed if you feel more strength. The trainer's personal experience with mental health really helped. I learned to be more positive about the skills I possess. So that's a really good one as well. Recovery is not time bound. I have a long way to go, but that's okay. So we all have our own journey. We're all different. It's really good to note that and know that everyone is going to take their own time. But it's just a positive thing to understand. Knowing I'm not alone, again, that links to the second point, and there is hope. And there definitely is. It's just really important to remember that. So thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Carly. So how do you get involved with the Recovery College? So to become a student, you could click on the link there on the screen and that'll take you to our website. So that's our page on the North Hampshire Healthcare NHFT public website. And then you click on the button there in the pink and that'll take you to an enrolment form. So all we ask is you fill out the enrolment form. It'll take you 5 minutes. It's a bit of demographic and contact information. And then that will give you a student number and an access code so that you could then use that student number and access code when you book on Eventbrite. Okay, so booking on a course, once you have enrolled with us, again, you can follow the link on our website there. So there's a purple button, book a course, or you can go to Eventbrite. A lot of people, they Google NHFT Recovery College Eventbrite, and that takes you straight to our page on Eventbrite with all the course descriptions in date order, which is really useful for folk. Or you can scan that QR code there on the page and that'll take you straight to it as well. I said earlier about our detailed prospectus. There's a link there to it in the bottom left of the corner of the screen. And that, if you want to look at the courses in detail, that's where you'll get that information on them. Yeah, if we can move on to the next slide, please. Thank you. So we've talked a bit about what we're providing currently at the Recovery College, but also we want to share a little bit about where we're going in the future, where we're heading, just briefly with you. So we continue to expand the number and the variety of our courses, working alongside partner organisations such as North Hampshire Carers, Aquarius, Drug and Alcohol Services, and we're engaging with more services all the time. We continue to increase our student numbers. We like to promote things because we think we've got really good products, both as e-learning and face-to-face and online courses, but we really need people to come along to those to get the most benefit. In co-production, people learn as much off each other in a course as they do from the trainers delivering a session. And it's the more people you get in there sharing experiences, the better the learning outcomes for everybody. Also, we continue to support the service users and carers who access North Hampshire Healthcare Services, who access North Hampshire Carers. And yeah, we continue to work alongside our clinical services, which we all know are extremely busy at the moment, but to provide something for people to access perhaps while they're waiting on appointments, waiting to start treatment, between services, that sort of thing. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here to support with. But also, really important is that one of the members of our team is currently doing a development project around trying to set up a Discovery College. Now, Discovery College is similar to the Recovery College. It's like educational based, it's co-produced, it's about supporting and empowering people in learning and finding out more about things and conditions, etc. But it's for young people and carers. So that what we would have if we had a Discovery College with NHFT, we'd have something that works with younger folk right through and their carers right through transition into adult services. So that's something really exciting for the future. And yeah, watch this space. Can we go to the next slide, please, Paul? So we just wanted to share this quote with you as we come to the end of our part of this presentation. And we feel that this really sums up what co-production is. And it's an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that we feel that really resonates with what co-production is about. And it probably says a lot about North Hampshire Carers as well. Okay, if we could go on, please. Thank you.
So there's also a service called Carers Corner. So there's just a little bit on here about what they do. So Carers Corner gives you the opportunity to meet other carers, which, as we said earlier, is a really positive thing. Learn about mental health conditions and treatments, find out about support after discharge, find out about support for carers, and an opportunity to meet our consultant psychologist and ask any questions. They're very hard to get hold of, so that's a really, really good thing. So if you're interested, if you contact Carers Corner at nhft.nhs.uk. And I think next we've got a short video from Sharon Gibbard, a carer. Thanks, Paul. Or someone else.
Krishna.
Dr. Krishna, sorry.
Not hearing him, Paul.
I've got no sound either.
We might have to do without Dr. Krishna. Because Dr. Krishna is one of the psychiatrists who's actually set up Carers Corner with Sharon Gibbard, who's part of our group putting the e-learning together, who can't be here, but we're hearing from her in a moment. So yeah, apologies for the technical problems. We will hopefully resume in a minute. No, we're going on to Sharon.
Oh, there we are.
Can't hear Sharon either.
No.
Sorry, Paul. We were doing so well. Technology, eh? But yeah, Sharon gives her apologies today, but she's been an invaluable part of this team putting the e-learning together. And Dr. Krishna is actually talking about how important it is.
Hello everyone, my
He's
name
back.
is Dr. Krishna and I'm a consultant psychiatrist working in St. Mary's Hospital in Kettering. I've been working in the field of mental health for the last 20 years and I have been a consultant psychiatrist for the last 8 years. During my years of practice, I've had plenty of interactions with carers. I generally try and involve my carers as much as possible. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, it's important for me to collect as much information as I can about the patients that I am treating. Therefore, it helps me to speak to carers who can give me these important bits of information. Also, sometimes the service users and carers may not be so keen to tell me about themselves for various reasons. And therefore, talking to carers in this particular situation helps me immensely, because the more I know about the patient, the higher the chance that I will get my diagnosis and treatment right. The second reason why I wish to speak to carers is, generally speaking, carers can be very anxious, distressed, worried about their loved ones, especially when they are in crisis. Therefore, I feel it's very important for me as a professional to support the carers in this time of their need. I try to support them by giving them a voice, listening to them, and offering reassurance to them. I also try to give them as much information as I can about the treatment plan and get them involved in this. Occasionally, there might be problems when I don't have consent, and this can create issues with confidentiality. In this kind of a situation, I always do what is in the best interest of the patient. So I try to make the decisions in the best interest of the patient, both in the short term and in the long term. My trust NHFT has introduced a common sense confidentiality policy to help the staff in these kind of difficult circumstances when consent is not given. I would like to finish by offering a few suggestions to carers based on my experience. Firstly, please try and speak to other carers. It's always helpful to speak to people who are in the same boat as you and who are going through exactly what you're going through. Even though family and friends may be able to support you, other carers might be able to relate to exactly how you feel, and therefore you might be able to support each other better. Secondly, Please try and learn as much as you can about the illness, the symptoms, the treatment, and the resources that are available out there in the community. As they say, knowledge is power. Therefore, the more you know about the illness, the more you can support and help your loved ones. Thirdly, it's important to please take care of yourself. I would like to give an example for this. Imagine you're in a flight and you're sitting there with your child. The flight has taken off, but suddenly the oxygen levels in the flight drop. Fortunately, they're prepared for it, and the oxygen mask immediately falls in your hand from the ceiling of the aircraft. Now, your automatic reaction in this situation is to try and attach the oxygen mask to your child. But the professional advice in this situation is different. They always say that you should try and attach the oxygen mask to yourself first before you try to do it to your child. And the reason why they say this is because you need to be fine in order to help your loved ones. If you're not fine, it's very difficult for you to do that. Therefore, please take care of your mental health, your emotional well-being, and you will be able to do your best for your loved ones when you're feeling okay and fine in yourself. I would like to finish by thanking all the carers on behalf of the NHS. What you people do is amazing, and I know that you all go way beyond everything to do your best for your loved ones, and the NHS could not have survived without you. All the best, and please take care of yourself.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Sharon. I'm really sorry I can't be there with you in person today, but thank you for the opportunity I'm able to speak to you like this. I'm a family carer member for an adult who has complex mental health difficulties, and I've been a carer for him for over 10 years now. I didn't even realise at first I was a carer. I was just a family member and just going along until I realised that actually what we were doing was far, far above what a lot of our friends and neighbours were contributing towards their loved ones' well-being. And it kind of clicked that maybe I needed some support for me as well, and to find out what was out there in a carer sense. So because I've been involved for so long, I was given an opportunity with NHFT, our trust, our Northamptonshire Health Foundation Trust, to become what's called an involvee. That meant that I could use my lived experience as a carer to try and make things better for other carers like ourselves out in the community and going through difficult times and crisis with their loved ones. This was great for me because they supported me to be able to share my story safely and confidently, hopefully, just to try and change things a little bit for people in the future, and to be very honest about what support it was that I'd needed to help me to recover as well, and to help me to cope with the day-to-day things, and also to be able to enjoy being a carer. At the time I was a bit bogged down in everything and didn't really, I felt a bit overwhelmed, which I think many of us do at times with the care and responsibilities. So as well as raising awareness of carers throughout NHFT Trust within adult mental health services, this also enabled me to become a peer trainer in our Recovery College, which is what we're celebrating today, that union between NHFT and the Recovery College and what we can offer for carers. And so I became involved in co-producing courses along with staff members and our third sector agencies as well. And co-production means working as an equal. So whatever staff or members of Northamptonshire carers or whoever we work with, we work together as a team. And I'm valued for my lived experience and I value them for their professional experience as well. And it works really well because we've got that balance of what's really happening alongside the skills and the knowledge of what's out there and what we can hope to find to help us. So yeah, raising awareness of carers for all and ensuring that we're looking to include and involve our carers in everything. So when the lovely Northamptonshire carers joined with the Recovery College, during the pandemic, it was decided that let's do something online because, as you know, a lot of us weren't able to get out. We had our loved ones with us a lot more. Everything was face to face. Everybody was isolated. And I know that many of us are still feeling the strain of that, even though we've come out the other end as such. We're still carrying a lot of difficulties from that period that may have added to what we were struggling with before as well as all the positive things alongside. So the e-learning course with Northamptonshire Carers allowed us to produce the course that we're promoting today. 3 courses in total around our health, around our well-being, around what's out there for us, around how we feel and that we're not on our own. And it's okay to feel sometimes the way we feel, and also to enable hope and actually, you know, there are things out there, there are people, there are support systems that can help you so that you can begin to enjoy your caring or enjoy it more. So yeah, that's been a really lovely time for me working alongside Northamptonshire Cares, and I really appreciate that we've been able to do this together, and fantastic resources as well from Northamptonshire Carers, as you all know, and they'll explain more, I'm sure, this morning. So alongside that, I also co-facilitate a carers group, which is called Carers Corner. This group is specifically for people that are caring for those with mental health difficulties. It's a safe space, somewhere where you can come and be yourself. It's completely confidential. I co-facilitate with Dr. Krishna, who you may have heard of, and if you haven't, please, you need to, because he's a lovely man with a real heart for carers, and he's there to support carers, to offer his expertise in the adult mental health field, and to help us navigate services, which can be really difficult. As I'm sure you know, whatever your loved one's difficulties are, it can be really difficult to access what they need or even to know what's out there or how to go about it. So yeah, Carers Corner is open to everyone supporting somebody with a mental health difficulty, similar to Northamptonshire Carers Calm Group, but maybe a little bit more for those in crisis. And of course, we do have a psychiatrist there and also a psychologist and a Northamptonshire Carers representative as well, to offer all-round support for people going through that difficult time with their loved ones. So through co-facilitating all this and getting involved with all this, for me personally, I feel really valued. I've learned so much. These brilliant courses that we've got that I really hope that you'll all be able to plug into and enjoy, as well as an upcoming one at the Recovery College that will be face-to-face with Dr. Krishna and myself and a carer peer support worker. Please keep your eyes and ears out for that, because we'd love to see you there. So yeah, I think anything that can support carers, anything that can help us feel less lonely, anything that can help us own our feelings and know that that's okay on the bad days, and also feel that there's others going through this, and that actually there is support, there is financial support, there is practical support, there is emotional support, you know, and we just want to raise everyone's awareness of how resilient we are, you know, how much experience we can share, and also to be there to support one another. So I hope you have a fab morning, and really hope to meet you all soon. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for that, Sharon, and thank you, Matt and Carly, for your presentation. And I'm thinking that's the end of your presentation bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
That is just our email addresses are on there. That's it. Yeah.
Wonderful, thank you. So we'll make sure we might take some of those snippets and put them onto our website link as well. So Paul, if you don't mind, if you can take us back to our PowerPoint. I'm very conscious before we launch into Mark that actually I didn't introduce myself. I'm Nicola Best, and I'm one of the workers that basically sat in on a updating session about Recovery College right at the very beginning of lockdown, and heard Sarah Dunn, who's now setting up the Discovery College, to talk about courses not being able to be face to face anymore. And Cassie and I kind of leapt on the opportunity of being able to work and do something innovative together. So the rest of the team will introduce themselves in a minute. I'm just conscious that we're sort of we're going to introduce the rest of the team that have put our e-learning together in a minute, but just to show that its importance is from the top down, just a quick word from our chief exec, Mark Major, who you heard mentioned at the beginning. Thanks, Paul.
Hi, I'm Mark Major. I'm the CEO of Northamptonshire Carers. We're celebrating a big birthday this year, 30th anniversary of the organisation. We're really pleased to be working with the NHFT Recovery College to roll out an e-learning programme for carers over the course of the coming months. The courses give carers a safe space to share through lived experiences, personal stories and peer-to-peer support. This really makes so much sense when you think about it, and trying to support carers in what is such a challenging period after lockdown, and also with lots of uncertainty and pressures in the world at the moment. It gives us the opportunity to link carers together and provide them to elements of support as and when they need it, and obviously through digital platforms that works really well. So please look at what we've got to offer. Be lovely to see you at different things, and as well as the digital learning, there's lots of other things that we do which you can see the details of on the website.
And Mark's obviously making reference to the fact that, which we haven't mentioned, that we're doing this as part of Carers Week, which is this week. So what is e-learning? We're bandying this term about. We've tried to do a brief definition. E-learning really is about using technology to encourage and enable people to learn anytime and anywhere. We've talked about people feeling more supported and less alone. We were very conscious during lockdown that people were at home, and also the people we're supporting, so working carers, parent carers, often don't have time in their busy lives to access things in 9 to 5 hours or in their work time or until their children have gone to sleep. And you'd be amazed how many people look at things after midnight and on Christmas Day when we've looked back at our records. So it was about making that available at a time when people can access it. Hopefully it's engaging and innovative and offers choice. Not everybody wants e-learning, but there are pockets of people that do want e-learning. I must admit, I absolutely love it, because it's something that I've embraced. It's not for everybody, but for those that do, it's offering more choice, and it fits with busy lives, and people can use their phones, their iPads, their tablets, their laptops and their computers. So thanks, Paul. So you've heard what everyone else has said about recognising and valuing people in caring roles. We know the pressure there is now with austerity and rising costs, that carers do need more support. There is support out there, and this e-learning is another way of hopefully getting that message across. Thanks, Paul. So you've kind of heard some of this. It's aimed at unpaid informal carers, including parent carers, working carers and other interested students, because we hope professionals will look at this too and then can share the learning themselves. It's going to be 3 courses ultimately. We've got the introduction to caring when out there and how to look after your own health and well-being. They're already available from our webpage or from links that has already been shared on this page and on this presentation. The third one about the rights is coming. We're very excited about information we've got included in there and how we're going to present that information to you. So again, watch this space. We will be promoting the third course heavily once it's finalised. Thanks, Paul. Caring and Me, you've seen the hello from Northamptonshire Carers, the who is a carer. We hope that you will enjoy it. We've given you a snapshot shot of a page. If anyone wants any more information about it, obviously do get in touch. But next slide, please. So students will learn to understand and acknowledge what it's like to be a carer. Pulled out this page, the My Caring Role, just getting people to think about how they became a carer. When did I become a carer? It kind of creeps up sometimes if you're looking after somebody perhaps who's an older parent who perhaps becomes more frail and you take on more and more. And different caring situations require or bring along different challenges. So we hope that this course will give you resilience and bravery to deal with the challenges that you find, but also the positivity as well, and improving your well-being. So thank you, Paul. The benefits, talked about peer support opportunities. There will be more in the future. There is a WhatsApp group of carers for support once they've completed the course, so that they can carry on supporting each other and finding more, and access to all the other courses that Matt, Carly and we've referred to. And if people look on our webpage as well, there are nearly always different things that are coming on. We're quite an innovative organisation and partnership, so there's new stuff coming all the time. Thanks, Paul. We've had some great comments and feedback already that has been captured. So within the course, there is a survey monkey at the end, and also the Recovery College, when they collect their data, have some feedback that we hopefully try and collate. So attending the wellbeing course, I found the sessions refreshing, encouraging. It was a good experience. I found myself more informed and found great friendship, which is brilliant. After completing the courses, I was feeling accomplished. I found new contacts and information. I know there is help and will remember to do the relaxation. So some of these comments have come about from the face-to-face course that our wellbeing course and e-learning is based on. So after completing the course, I was feeling less isolated and more confident moving forward, learned visualization and breathing techniques. All that is in there, including hand therapy and various things for you to try. So there is help. You're not alone. Thank you for everything. Thank you for creating this. I think it's a great tool and I'll be promoting it to others. So some really positive feedback, which we're really proud of. And there's more again on the webpage with people's comments. Next slide, please, Paul. As part of the e-learning, Vicky, who's on this call, created some amazing artwork within our My Gratitude journal. So the link for that is here. There is a hard copy, which you can get hold of a copy within the office. But we hope that it fits in with all the mindfulness activity and the well-being. We are looking at doing other things as well around happiness and basically resilience. But this gratitude journal gives some opportunity to just think, count your blessings, count your positives, and to look at those. So jar of happy thoughts and things that have gone well, which you can look at perhaps on lower days. So a whole choice of things within that, and we're just so blown away by the beautiful artwork as well. So thank you, Vicky. Next one, Paul. So coming soon, we've talked about the information and resources, which of course, so we've now got the go ahead with the proposal. So we're busy building as we speak. So we're looking hopefully for a September launch with that one, but fingers crossed. Next one, Paul, please. So some of the carers' stories who've helped put this together. You've heard from Sharon. Just pass this over to perhaps start with Kathy, just for her to share her input to all of this.
Okay.
Thanks,
Hi everybody. I'm Kathy, and many years ago I had a child born with a disability called Down syndrome. So at the time I left my job and decided that nobody could sort of support her better than me. But within about 3 months, I was struggling, being at home on my own, feeling quite isolated, feeling lonely, worrying about all sorts of things. And somehow I would say I found Northamptonshire Carers in my hour of need, where I'd sort of come across them through a friend and actually became a volunteer. And that volunteering role made me feel amazing. It lifted my spirits. It gave me the time to look after my child how I felt I needed to. And also gave me a purpose again. So I was sort of promoting healthy lives through sort of window material in our little shop that began sort of 30 plus years ago in Kettering, and finding myself again and feeling strong. And that was an amazing moment. And then sort of gradually I sort of became an employee, started working for them, and through the years I've sort of been able to sort of really have a bit of a free rein, I would say, sort of venturing on into sort of having 8 carers support groups. 6 of them are carers cafe drop-ins, which the carers can bring their cared for to if they want to. They don't have to if they don't want to. But again, was an area that that was a bit of a grey area because most of our funding was supporting mainly carers. And then I sort of started working with a parent carer support group and an evening support group. And as Nicola had said earlier, we then sort of came across the Recovery College in the pandemic and had that conversation and realised that we needed to do something new, something exciting. And that's when our sort of collaborative project started. And I've been incredibly privileged and proud to be working on this project. You know, it just makes me feel brilliant every time I look at the material, when I go through one of the courses, watching the animation video earlier, which was a lot of our material, but put together by one of the managers at the Recovery College, and we needed that joint working to bring that together. But every time I watch it, you know, I feel it's incredibly powerful, and that is just a tiny snapshot, really, of the three e-learning courses that we are sort of putting out to support carers in the future. If you want any more information about Northamptonshire Carers, you can always find that on our website. That's www.northamptonshire-carers.org. We have so much going on for carers. It's unbelievable. And this week it's been National Carers Week. And there's more than 44 events this week. So everybody can find something exciting, something that will stimulate them, something that will lift their spirits, something that will give them a purpose to enjoy if they want to. You know, just contact us on the phone line 019 336 77907 or on the website, and you'll be pointed in the direction of something lovely to do. I feel happy to working with a wonderful team, from both organisations. I've met some really super people that I didn't know before. I think the pinnacle of my career so far, because I've been with Northamptonshire Carers 29 years, was receiving the HSJ Awards, mainly because it was for recognising carers as equal partners in care, which is something I've been privileged to do every day of my working life for the last 29 years, working at my 8 support groups, seeing more than 120, 130 people every month, often new faces, old faces. I've actually grown old with some of these carers. And I just wanted to sort of add in about parent carers, because I've got a real special kind of love for parent carers and them receiving the information and access to as much support as they can possibly access, because I think the parent carer area is the most underfunded area of what we do, and under recognised in some ways. Yet those are the people that will spend most of their adult life as carers. So, I'm really sort of privileged to reach out and sort of hope that all carers access our sort of e-learning at some point, but especially the parent carers, because I think you could get so much out of it. I mean, thank you for listening to me. I ramble on a bit, but I wanted to get across my passion for it. And like Carly said, and like Sharon and Vicky will say, we're all parent carers, and we totally understand what that means, but everybody's situation is unique and individual to them. So I hope you enjoy watching this presentation, because I've really enjoyed taking part in it and actually going through things that I knew over again. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy. And Vicky, can I ask you to just introduce yourself as a key member of the team?
Yes, so I'm Vicky Doyle, and I've been with the team since we started the Caring and Me introduction to caring, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I was volunteering for Carers Voice a few years back, and then I decided to volunteer with Northamptonshire Carers because I so admired and loved all the work that they do. And I became a peer-to-peer support worker and a carers champion. And I have a lot of knowledge myself because I'm a parent of a young woman my daughter who's got severe learning. And having been through all the milestones and the transitions and the HCP plans and all the things that we do have to go through, I thought, well, it would be lovely to share my knowledge and help to empower others. So I've thoroughly enjoyed working alongside Kathy and Nicola, Carly and others on the course, and it's just been so uplifting. I've learned an awful lot. I've been able to share my experience, and I hope you really, really enjoy the courses. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you.
Thanks, Vicky. I think I'd just like to say, if anyone does have any questions, Kathy's given you the web page details and also our phone numbers. If you want to contact us, you can do it through those pages. I would just say there is lots more information out there on our e-learning. There are loads of resources. There is stuff about art. There's some beautiful imagery. We're kind of biased, but we would love you all to feel to feel that you're now encouraged to register and go ahead and do this. So thank you to everyone who takes the time to look at this, and we hope that you will find the time to take the e-learning courses and also to be supported by both our organisations. Before I bring this to an end, just say it's going to be on YouTube. We are running the event later again this evening, so it will then be on YouTube. So we will share the link on our webpage. Does anyone else involved in this presentation want to say anything before I bring it to a close? Oh, silent. So
Thanks for the opportunity, really. Thank you. And we
Thanks,
hope to see you on the Recovery College courses soon and enrolling on the e-learning courses.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you as well. And I just wanted to say that I've really enjoyed working with you guys as well. I think you do amazing work and you've really helped me throughout the time because I didn't have a mattress for a while. Carers helped me to fund one. So just little things. But thank you for having me today and thanks for all the work you do.
Thank you. No, that's great, everybody. Thank you.
I think I'd just like to add in something I'd forgot actually that I didn't mention is about the hidden carers and how important it is for us to reach them. And just a quick experience I had yesterday at the tea dance. One of the staff that worked there came running in and she says, "Oh, look, I've just found a carer outside," because we had information outside. And I've given him some information and I went, "Oh my word, that's my cousin's son." You know, and I've been working here 29 years and he hasn't reached out. And yet I've told his mum, I've told his dad all about the services. And there he was. And when he seen me, he went, "Oh, I didn't know you were there." And I went, "It's okay." I said, "I've told your mum and dad about it." And he said, "I know, but you know what my dad's like. My dad won't go to groups. He won't reach out. He won't this. You won't say anything, will you?" And I was like, "No, I won't say anything, but I'm really pleased that Kay, my colleague, has given you a leaflet and you can go home and read that and see how you feel afterwards." But isn't that amazing? That's how difficult it is sometimes to reach people, even your own family members.
And we hear these stories all the time. So yeah, go out and spread the word for us. So thank you very much, everyone, for taking the time to take part and to watch this. And we will see you in the future with more activities and more sessions. Thank you. So we stop recording, Paul, please.